in our day-to-day life, and when we're talking with our friends and all, we might have some project ideas, but we need to select the best project idea out of those ideas, and also we need to have the basic knowledge on how to start a project. So Dr. Prabuddha, please give us the idea on how to select the best project idea and how we can start the project.
So to answer that question, like I'll based on my experience, like I'll tell you some factors that would make your project a success, right? So this is just a brief, introduction. So the main thing should be passion. So not your grade, like not the easiest project, or not how you can get to good GPA. So you need to get out of this mentality. Like at least like when you understand this now, or like if you think about this, like you need to get out of this mentality. So first of all, like you need to have a passion for whatever you are doing. So it can be just a three to 4 months project, like it can be an assignment, but you need to have. So when you are, if you have a, if you have a choice, if you can choose what you are doing, so first of all, decide on something that you have a passion for. So that specific, so that passion comes from the impact, right? So like that, look at all the like the headline grabbing technologies at the moment, right? Carbon capture, right? These kind of things, and CO2 reduction and sensors, IoT, industrial 4.0, like artificial intelligence, data science. Why are these like the hot topics in the world? Because they have the most impact currently. So when you see the impact, when you see the value, then you can develop a passion for it. So one first thing is passion, and as I said, like second thing is the importance, value, and the future growth. So after that 3 or 4 months, like where can you take that project? Obviously, like it will be a very minute part of the project. I mean, the whole big picture that you will do in these 3 to 4 months, right? So where would it be? Like where can you take it? So is there a opportunity? I mean, is there a space for growth? Right? So I am not saying like you shouldn't do any fundamental studies. Fundamental studies are fine. You need fundamental studies, but even though it's a fundamental thing, you need to see see some application. Even it doesn't matter whether it's after 10 years, 20 years, at some point in time, like you need to see a application, and you should know this is where my thing fit in the whole big puzzle. Like one good example is graphene. So when in 2004, like when this Andrew Geim and the Russian scientists discovered this, like they were theoretical physicists, but now see how graphene is changing the world. So they were doing fundamental science, but they knew if they can take this one atom layer out of a graphite lump, this is where it can be applied. So they were doing fundamental studies, like theoretical stuff, but they knew where it can go. So this is what you need to do. But this part is lacking. Like based on my experience, a lot of people who do theoretical stuff, I mean simulations, like they don't see, they work with numbers, they run some numbers, they do a calculation, they have like these page long equations, but they don't know how it can be applied. So you need to have that bigger picture in mind, right? So this is how you can select a project. And then like it doesn't matter how important your project idea is, like how it can, I mean the opportunity, it has to grow, but if you don't have the facilities and the expertise, then it doesn't go, it won't become a success. So wherever you are, you need to look at facilities, you need to look at the expertise, because you will be starting from scratch, right? So for this to happen, like you need to do some literature review, not in the sense like the traditional paper searching thing. Like after having that big picture, you need to see like what sort of stuff that you need to make it a success. So this is a skill. This is not just some reading. So when you read a paper, or when you read like a review paper, you need to you should be able to break down your project into, I don't know, like 3 to 4 parts, or like whatever the parts that it has. So after you break it down, you need to understand what are the expertise or the facilities that you need to complete each and every part. So the faster that you can do this, you can come up with a plan very quickly, right? So this is a skill that you need to develop. For this, you need to do like as many projects as possible. Then only this comes. So this is not something like, I mean, people think planning is just something that you do in the beginning, but no, it's a skill that you need to develop, right? This is very important when it comes to like industry. So if you connect all these factors and then choose a project, I mean, you have higher chance of making it a success. And like the red color wording, it's especially for like your PhD projects. If you there are any PhD students here, so when you take on a project, it's not your supervisor's project, it's your project. Like you should know more than your supervisor. So supervisor, like whoever it is, they have good experience with research, conducting research methodology, right? So they can guide you like, when it comes to managing the project, they can direct you like, okay, you try these two methods. If it doesn't work, try this third method. But what's inside that those steps, like the technical stuff, those things you need to know better than your supervisor. So this is your project. So you should be able to go to your supervisor, whoever it is, and suggest, okay, this is the way world has done. I mean, previous work has been done. So this is something new, and this is where we should go. You should be able to suggest that to the supervisor. Then they will let you. I mean, they based on their experience, they can tell you whether to take that route or not. That's their decision. But it's your project, so you should know more than your supervisor. So put some effort and take that responsibility. So these are some of, based on my experience, these are some of the things that you need to consider when choosing a project and like conducting a project.